Hello, my name is Beartrix LeStrange, and this is Actual Sunlight. I don't know that much about this game, other than it's similar to the RPG Maker sort of games. And it's supposed to be heartbreaking, heart-throbbing. It's supposed to mess with your heart. Again, I don't know much about it. I'm trying to divert myself away from horror for several reasons. So, whoop-de-doo. Let's get into this. English. Please note, Actual Sunlight deals with extremely mature themes, including depression and thoughts of suicide. Yep. So if you, have problems with that sort of thing, you might want to steer clear from this this game until you feel a little bit better. And if you really do suffer from depression and you have thoughts of suicide, there's a lot better things will come towards you if I speak gooder. Player discretion is strongly advised, and this game is not appropriate for players under the age of 18. Probably because of depression and thoughts of suicide, I think, hopefully. I'm 19, so it doesn't really apply to me. Do you want to continue? Yes, I do. If I didn't, then why am I making this video? Why kill yourself today when you could masturbate tomorrow? Yep, definitely for 18 or older. By Even Winter. I know what you're thinking. Why keep getting up, day in and day out, even though your life is going nowhere? Turn that fucking thing off. Thank you. No raises, no promotions, no hope, no future. Let's face it, no love. Why'd you hit the snooze bar? But don't feel bad for yourself. Feel bad for exploited immigrants who have their fingers shattered while stocking shelves on the graveyard shift at monolithic retailers. Feel bad for the soldiers of pointless wars who have their arms blown off by IEDs. Feel bad for arthritic, longhand truck drivers who need every firm grasp they have left for the dark roads and bottom-crashing races ahead. No matter how bad things get, none of these people can live the life that you can. A life of pathetic, dick-punching resignation. Thank you! You are lucky. You have food, you have water, and you have shelter. Shelter that specifically includes at least one room with a locking door, an internet connection, and a computer you don't share with your elderly parents. No king leaves you too exhausted from one type of hammering to indulge in another. No bishop lives to tell you not to bash yours. There has never been a better time in the history of mankind to be completely, cripplingly, I can speak, devastatingly alone. And yet here you are, think about giving up on the good times. Not realizing that you still have so much to live for, that there is still so much to jerk off to. After all, the world is alive. Alive with people as fat, shallow, and broken as you are. Alive with beautiful women that have been lied to all their lives. Who get on buses bound for your pornography. Alive with the seething sadness of all our breaking dreams. And I hope that you read these words and realize that there is still so much inside of you. just waiting to come out. I hope you promise yourself to live to see the day that you truly fall in love at first sight. Lock your eyes onto a look you've waited a lifetime to see. Hit the pause button, take a deep breath, and know what it would be like to be wanted, even if it isn't for the right reasons, by anybody. If only for a moment. I swear to fucking God, I still can't move. Oh. Patient transcript, Even Winter. Doctor, why did you set your alarm for 5 a.m. every morning, even though you would never get up for it? Why hit snooze for 2 hours? I think after the 9th hitting of the snooze bar, it just shuts off. It does not ring it after the 9th time, I think. Patient, I wanted to start exercising. I mean, look at me. I had to. Then why didn't you? I don't know. I guess the night before, you feel like tomorrow will be different. Every night you think tomorrow is the day you're going to do it. Start exercising? Start everything. Z to interact. X to save and quit. I'm moving that finger away. Whatever. A Sony e-reader. Definitely obsolete by now. Creative Writing 497Y. University of Toronto. Instructor, Even Winter. First day lecture, notes. First thing you should know about being a writer is that it will turn you into a person who will find every excuse not to write. Yeah, I get that. In fact, like many things in life, the more you want it to happen, the stupider about it you will get. A lot of people will never relate to this. A lot of people don't know what it's like to badly want something that very few people will ever get to have. And I'm not talking about money or fame, obviously. Everybody wants that. I'm talking about the deeply felt desire to say something that is painful in a way that is both beautiful and true. I get that a lot. But without discipline, this desire will melt you into a crazy, miserable shithead. I'll give you an example. I remember when I decided that enough was enough, and that I was finally going to get serious about becoming an author. I went straight to the nearest bookstore to buy every book about writing that I could get my hands on. I was prepared to do anything, absolutely anything, except actually sit down and write. There were so many books that I felt I had to read before I could attempt to write anything that I bought a $300 e-reader instead of trying to carry them all home. Of course, I also planned to actually read all the books that I had supposedly read in school. That e-reader sat on my nightstand and collected dust for years. Assembly instructions, Sawdust Dresser by Even Winter. 1. Attempt to open box. Failed to do so, and rip corrugulated cardboard into pieces until dresser parts are exposed. 2. Consider insistence of two-person assembly to be personal indictment of character and discrimination towards sad loaders. Mutter homophobic indignities about uppity Scandinavians and their perfect little shoebox existence. 3. Figure out that assembly of a dresser will require actual tools, and not just syringe-thin Allen key. I'm downstairs at a convenience store that thrives on overpriced sundries for emasculate condominium man-children. Buy knockoff Chinese screwdrivers for 3 times normal retail price. Why the fuck would you do that? 4. Assemble dresser. Periodically stopping to drink alone and stretch out re-aggravated lower back injuries. 5. Screw up assembly at the very end such that dresser looks completely fine, but drawers are fixed in place and do not actually open. 6. Turn structure around completely, exposing open rear end of dresser. and remove top drawer entirely, rendering entire dresser as giant open hole. 7. Realize that nobody will probably ever see how fucked up this is, that it wouldn't be a criteria if any girl was actually willing to come here in the first place, and that you're probably just going to leave all your clothes hanging over furniture or stuck in the dryer anyways. 8. Live with it. So it's not really a dresser. It is actually turned around for a reason. Oh, it's the same thing. Oh, good! Okay. The bed. From Junior Asset Executive Administrator, CEO Office, to Director Corporate Communications. Subject, no subject. Would you like to look at the transcript below and develop new messaging for transitional compensation interviews by COB? The program is excellent. So this problem is obviously in how your shop is selling HR to pitch it. Begin transcript. HR VP. Thanks for coming in this morning, even. And door closing. Sure. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. Time and time again, I've said that the one thing we need in this company, besides our top executive talent, are young people. Young people who don't just go back to bed instead of waking up. Young people who don't just walk around in a trance as if they have no future. Young people who won't let their peers down, even when they're asked to do more with less. Sounds like it would be a shame to lose young people like that. I couldn't agree more. That's why I really hope you'll consider staying on with us, even though your compensation package will be transitioning from a direct model to an experimental one. Oh, what? A new perspective. A new opportunity to really show us what you're made of. I just want to be completely clear on this. You're talking about no money, right? Well, the philosophy that we're embracing is something that we call life stage-based compensation. I want to hone in on what exactly the needs are for each of our employee groups based on their current life phase. So, for an employee of your age and demographic profile, we know that all you're really looking for is mentorship, energy drinks, and a very, very high quantity of work that will really give you an exposure to the professional environment that you're looking for. I'm 28 years old. I'm not sure what demographic profile you're thinking I fit into. There are a lot of factors there. I mean, there are people who have families to support, and as you'll no doubt recall from our mission and vision statements, this is a family company. I watched 3 people who I know have young children leave here with boxes this morning. That's exactly why they were simply released. It would have been irresponsible of us to offer them a transitional opportunity. We care enough to get them out of here and back into the search for a paying position as quickly as possible. They have people who need them. Do you? Candidate exits, interview ends. Yeah, I would leave there as well. No. That was years ago. I gotta get up. You have such a big head! Okay. My iPad. I keep it plugged in over here. Oh dear. Transcript. Late night show. Guest. Even Winter. Host. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking to author and comedian Evan Winter about his breakout success. Now, we don't have too many writers on the show, but what do you think has become a bit different about your life since all this happened? Well, I used to sleep with an iPad. Oh, what do you exactly mean by sleep with? As in, you would hold it close? Well, it wasn't that intimate, but spreading out with it was definitely the only reason I actually needed a queen-size bed. Right! So now you would presumably sleep with women? Yes, women. Definitely women. I mean, not every night, but a normal amount. A regular amount. Exactly. I'm a normal person now, and I'm good with that. You know, you sound like you're already married. I would love to get married. Marriage works. People always seem to think I wouldn't be up for it, but I totally am. Maybe it was all that sleeping with an iPad. That was lovely. Review. Awake. Something Awful Forms by Redwinter47. I'm posting this review because I think the community that is built up around this game is nothing but a moronic circle jerk. I knew that. People have taken the fact that it has some false silver of artistic credibility and blown it out to ridiculousness as a way of feeling better about something that we all know is true about video games. That they are shitty, anesthetic way that we have spent our shitty anesthetic lives. Anesthetist lives. It is not great that the game has 10 different endings that require over 100 hours of average playtime to see. That's just a way of making you feel like you could be special, which is exactly what you never have. It is not romantic that the game deals with broad themes of loneliness and despair. You are actually alone. You are actually in despair. You know there is nothing romantic about it. None of it includes a longing gaze into the moonlight. It's just pizza pops and perversion until you have a stroke and your parents spend their retirement looking after you. Finally, it is not filled with rich, textured characters whose relationships and dialogue will pull at your heartstrings. It is hours of endless drivel that proffers completely childish conceptions of intimacy and togetherness for the sole and pandering purpose of tricking you into the fake warmth of delusionally believing that you relate to something that you only wish you did. And you believe these things because you are nothing. You've never read a book that didn't have a dragon or a laser gun on the cover. You live in a filthy, dark room with a laptop and a soda-stained mouse pad. My mouse pad isn't soda-stained! I haven't had soda here in a while. And you play Awake because it is about human beings. But because you desperately wish you were a human being in the first place. But you are not. You are not the hero. You are not. You are the monster. You was banned for this post. Reason? It's... Faggot. Wow. Forums can't do that. They can't ban them because he's a faggot. I screwed my back up a long time ago. Now I have a fancy chair that's probably screwing it up even more. Well then, I used to have a desktop. It's gone now. I just use the laptop in my room. Wait, he has a... Oh, that was the laptop that he was talking about. What is this? Yeah, desktop's gone now, yada yada yada. Video games. PS3! This is the only reason I even own a TV. Well then, put up an Xbox right there. And then you can have 2 consoles. And 2 reasons to have a TV. Whatever. I sort of use this as a de facto garbage bin for anything that won't actually rot. It's full of plastic bags from Shoppers Drug Mart at the moment. Never use this. It's an oven. I'll take a shower first. What the... Okay, I'm guessing this is the bathroom. This place may be disorganized, but there are some things you've got to keep clean. Patient transcript, even winter. What is your earliest memory of disliking yourself? When I was 15 or 16, I shaved for the first time. Immediately, my skin had a vicious reaction to it. Red everywhere. My neck and my jawline were completely covered in huge bumps and rashes. I didn't come out of my room for hours. I hate looking in mirrors or being in pictures to this day. Are you sure it wasn't just poor technique? People always ask that, or at least look like they're thinking it. But no, I tried everything. It's like piano wire stabbing your face out from the inside, and it survives beyond every four-figure shotgun solution in existence. And what happened after you came out? Nothing, really, but I knew what it meant. This was high school. You saw those kids with horrifically scarring acne, and it isn't like this looked any better. From then on, I knew I was going to be one of those guys that girls would look away from for the rest of my life. That would be a very painful thing to believe. I guess it was the first time I realized that you could just get dealt a shitty hand, that there could be something wrong with you, and that no matter what, you would never be able to do anything about it. Yeah. In a way, I think you were lucky to get as far as you did without learning that. Think of all the reasons in the world you could have learned that sooner. Reasons that could have been much worse. I don't really know what to say about that. You only live as yourself. Take a shower now or not? Hang on. Oh. Tea. Even winter. Do you ever have suicidal thoughts? What? You mean right now? Are you implying there are situations where you ordinarily would? I don't know. A decision like that seems more responsibility than I could even take for myself. Sometimes I'll stand in the shower for a long time, slowly turning up the temperature of the water until it hurts. Eventually, my body seems to adjust to the pain, and I'll turn it up again and again until it hurts so much that I can't go any further. And you think about killing yourself in this way? By burning yourself? I'm not saying that I think this is what suicide is. I just think it's what suicide is like. So you think about suicide more than you have any specific plans to commit suicide yourself. Is that correct? I guess. How often do you think about these things? A lot. How long have you been thinking this way? A long time. And how does this thinking about why you want to do this make you feel? Frustrated? Tired? Hopeless? Reminiscent. I can't say that right. Get to the roof of the building and jump off. No! Got a lot of things to do today. I better eat something and get to the office. 8. An epilogue to the weight loss book I will one day write, by Even Winter. Before I wrote this book, I'd reached a point where all I ever thought about was food. My life went from joking that nothing but pizza would give me relief to a life in which it was actually true. Do you know what it's like to wake up in the morning, knowing that eating something terrible is the only happy thing that is going to happen to you all day? You kill yourself at some horrific job that you're lucky to have, and when it's all over, all you want to do is forget about it. People say you should stop. You could stop, but you're so huge by now that you realize you would have to stop for years and years on end, and that even then you still might not be good enough for anything or anyone. And by the time you do it, who can even say if anyone will be left? Still, you make a few attempts over the years, because a part of you thinks you would be a completely normal person if your weight didn't disqualify you from being one in the first place. Sometimes, it even goes well. But in the end, you're still miles behind, and that one shitty, feel-good thing you've always had starts calling you. It's calling you when you realize that she isn't interested. It's calling you when you're out with people who don't have to live this way to just be normal. It's calling you when you go out to eat with your parents, and you realize what a disappointment you are to them. What a waste of all that energy you are. All the time, it's calling you. Why did I turn off vibrates? Hello? Everything is great, Mom. Yeah, of course I'll have dinner with you guys this weekend. We can eat whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. I gotta go to work, Mom. I don't know what's going on with either of them. No, I know. I know. Okay? Bye. Don't go to the roof. I thought I had something to eat here, but I guess not. I'll get something on the way. Yeah, of course. Do you want to stay here? Yes.